How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone is doing great. Well, I was just watching a live today with EVX, Sean with the H, and the Black Cobra. And I just heard in passing that a gentleman died. I put his link, or the link to the GoFundMe, in the community tab. So definitely check that out. It's Mr. Doart, if I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, from what I understand is that he was riding and he crashed on the road and a car ran him over. That's what I understand. I don't know exactly the details, but to my understanding, he's no longer alive. So, this reminded me of when Sensei Vegan had said the same thing happened to him, but he was able to, save himself from the situation. You know what I mean? And I don't know where it was. It might have been New York. I don't remember. I'm only assuming New York because, EVX and them talked about it. And I think he was EVX, a friend of EVX or something like that. I don't know. I was too busy. I couldn't really pay attention to the entire live. But, yeah. This is unfortunate, guys. This is very unfortunate. And I don't know how many times, or, this guy has ridden his wheel, or how often he rides, if he's new or not. My assumption was that he was new, but I don't know. I really don't know. It's very unfortunate, guys. Very unfortunate for him and his family. So definitely please support, by clicking the link, which I will place in the description, and it's also in the community tab. But yeah, this is not what we want, right? It's definitely not what I expected to happen to anyone. It's happened before. There was a guy in Europe where he died, and I saw the video, and it didn't seem like it was his fault. It was a car that literally ran him over. I'm sure there are other cases that, not so, like, we don't really know about it because we don't really know these people. But if not for video, or if not for someone that knows them, we wouldn't really hear about it. But I hope this is not something that happens often, man. That's pretty bad. But yeah, be safe out there. And I don't know, the advice I'm going to give right now has nothing to do with the man in terms of, like, saying or placing blame on him or anything like that. But what I will say is, riding in traffic is, it can happen to any one of us, experienced or not. You know what I mean? It can happen to any of us where our guard is down and something happens, and this happens. And you might not die. You might get injured, So just be careful, guys. I know that goes without saying. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you have a lot to donate or not. Just donate something. This is pretty bad. So, sorry, I have a headache right now. That's why I'm like this. I've been busy today. But, yeah, this is wild. And, I mean, it's kind of expected in a way because it is getting more popular, the electric unicycle. More popular than I thought it would get. But what I'm not happy about is that with the way I ride, I'm sure people, are like, I can do that. And the way that a lot of us ride, a lot of people who are experienced and quote unquote reckless ride, a lot of new people are probably ecstatic and stoked, you know what I mean, to get their first wheel, not realizing the risks that's involved in getting a wheel. I mean, they may know the risk, but really truly knowing the risk by by riding the wheel, that's a whole different world, man. Like, you know something is dangerous versus actually experiencing the danger. That's very different. So I did not expect that to come out of alive today, but hey, it's not about me. It's life is not about me. But this is sad. This is sad, man. And it's not the only time. That's the worst part. It's happened before. You know? There was a time where a woman did hit me, you know? And I've had several close encounters, but I'll be honest, I saw every single one of them coming. And who's not to say he saw it coming, you know? We don't know. The issue is that if it was a busy situation where the city was like bustling and everything, people are on their phones, man. In many ways, we're worse than motorcycles. We're worse than bicycles. Not us as in terms of how we drive, but in terms of visibility. You know, people don't they just don't expect to see us. And you know, motorcyclists and cyclists have it really bad, where there's even like stickers now on cars saying bikes are everywhere. You know what I mean? Pay attention. And now on top of that, motorists have to look for us. So, you know, I'm not putting blame on anyone. I don't know. I can't. I don't even know what happened. All I know is that the end result was not good. So guys, just, you know, ride safe. If you're new to riding, you know, don't go in the street. Stay in the park. Ride in your back roads. Even your back roads are dangerous because in many cases people come up the one-way street. I saw a video of that either on Instagram. I don't remember where it was. But there was a car that was like racing through the one-way late at night. So you definitely want to be aware that, you know. Also, you know what's interesting? Another thing is, this takes us into a different direction where the world, or I should say, you know, the metropolises of the United States is not, you know, rent is expensive. Like, you know, people are, you know, don't have much savings. Like, there's so many facets of life where people are stressed. And my guess in many cases, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm just putting it out there just so that your mind can go there. And that I feel if your mind goes there, maybe you can think of the world in a different way. That, you know, just because you see someone or people on the street and they seem to have everything okay, doesn't mean everything is okay. We don't know what's going on with people's lives nowadays. There's just inflation and all that stuff is causing, it has side effects. That's just the side effects to a capitalistic society, a society where it's all about, you know, profit. And so what happens is the mind frame of people is not at ease. You know, I don't know if it's always been like this since capitalistic society started, but I know for a fact that people's minds are not at ease for the most part. Which is why for many of us, electric unicycle makes a lot of sense, you know, because it puts us at ease. But at the same time, we have a lot of people out here in their cars, in their trucks, and they're not at ease. And so we don't want to enrage them in any way. We want to, you know, be the opposite of that, where if you're in a situation where a car seems to have the right of way, even if they don't have the right of way, make it so that the car has the right of way. Make it so that the car is the one, you know, to move first. If that's the case, I don't know. You know, just make it easier for the motorists, because it is a weapon. That machine is a weapon. The car is a weapon, you know? And it doesn't take much for people to do what they feel like doing subconsciously. If they're upset at you, or if they're upset at someone else, and then you're there, they could take the anger out on you. And what are you going to do on an EUC? You know what I mean? Nothing. So I don't know. I'm just trying to be on the other side of it where we can look in. But I hope his family's okay. Mentally, obviously, they're not in a good place right now. But I hope they will get to a good place right now, because on the bright side, he liked his electric unicycle, clearly. But we just want to be aware, guys. So, another thing is, not everybody watches videos. You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys who buy electric unicycles, I mean, they buy it after they see us and they ride silently. There's a guy in my neighborhood, he had a Tesla. I rode with him once. And then the next time I saw him, he has an EX. I'm like, wow. And I never hear about this guy. I never hear him on YouTube. I never see him on Instagram. But he just rides on his own. Sometimes he rides on the sidewalk. I see him. He rides on the sidewalk. He has an EX. An EXN, not an EX. And he rides on the sidewalk. He doesn't bother anyone, just chills. And I'm like, wow, this guy has like a Ferrari and he's driving on the sidewalk. But that's my mentality, you see? Because I'm thinking speed, I'm thinking potential. He just wants his EXN probably for whatever reason. It could be for range. You know, he probably doesn't even like speed like that. The EXN has an amazing range if you don't go crazy. So, I just find it interesting that many of us ride to live longer. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to be stressed by our daily responsibilities and just the craziness of the world in general. But for that to happen, you know, to one of our riders, where it's the opposite. It's like, man, that's heartbreaking, man. That's crazy, because that's not, you know, it's like, wow. So, be mindful out there and look out for each other. You know what I mean? Look out for your fellow rider. Don't encourage bad behavior. You know, just don't do it. Let's not encourage bad behavior. And I know there are some people out there who are going to do whatever they want. So, I'm just going to say, don't encourage bad behavior. So, till next time. I haven't been making videos because, you know, life happens. You know, so I have to situate things. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful night. Please support the family. Click on the donate link and donate something. Good night.